I have to say it is, I think, one of the most challenging works that I had to learn in my life. This work goes beyond our understanding of what the cello register should be. I mean, some of the pitches are so high. It kind of covers almost 6 octaves, which is incredible. Here I was playing so close to basically my bow, but I could imagine what a tightrope walker in circus would feel, because you have to control your bow, because the distance between your finger and the bow and the edge of the bridge is so tight that literally a half a millimeter one or other direction or you will just fall off. It is a string orchestra, piano and percussion, and it creates so many unusual colors. The title of the piece, Ouroboros, I had a conversation with the composer by messaging, and I asked him what was his idea, behind this title, and his purpose of it was mostly to do with the structure of the piece, because Ouroboros, as we know, is an ancient Greek symbol that depicts a snake eating its own tail. And I think originally the meaning behind the symbol is the infinity, is the birth, the life cycle, death and rebirth. This structure of those circles, how he achieves it is basically by these motifs that appear, gets developed, and that kind of closes the circle and continues reappearing and reappearing until the very end. The concerto is written in 3 movements, but they kind of go quasi-attacca. So although there is an ending of the first movement, but it's just time for me to clean my fingerboard after all the rosin that I left on my strings playing so high just at the very end of the first movement. But basically the whole concerto should go into kind of one breath. And that also helps the idea of the circularity of these motifs, of this Ouroboros never-ending journey. And second movement is kind of a cadenza for cello, piano and percussion, half of the movement. And only when it reaches almost approaching the maximum intensity, then imperceptibly the orchestra comes in as well. And before you know, we're actually all being very much part of the culmination of this movement, which then reaches its complete climax and slides into one last note that is only one cello left. In this one note, which is probably for about 2-3 bars of a quite pianissimo E, I find that this moment is in a way so much more powerful and more telling than all the activity that's been going before. There are little tiny fragments of cello triplets. You can imagine this as questions, as searching, after which there's a silence and only the piano replying with a little glissandos on the prepared strings, and then again the cello asking again, and this silence is an answer. And later when the orchestra joins, it becomes more intense, this questioning. Of course, the motifs that keep returning also returns at the very end, and this motif played then at the very end by cello, with joining later also violas at a very, very high pitch, but having exactly this last turn of this motif for the last time, maybe even more desperate, more trying to have the last say, but at the end of the day, kind of giving up and accepting its fate.